The Washington Wizards lose the battle of the bottom versus the Utah Jazz, 128-112 in Salt Lake City. But there were bright spots. Come on now, Colby Jones. Let's talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BScott again with my guy AB, and definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. 11:30 or about 11:16 on the East Coast, man. So definitely appreciate everybody taking the time out of their night to rock with us tonight. The Washington Wizards did lose the battle of the bottom dwellers, man. 128-112 in Salt Lake, but there were some bright spots tonight. Let me tell you, man. Some not talked about talent in Colby Jones. So, all right, AB. Like I said, the Utah Jazz did play their starters, man, and we kind of rode with the youth movement. I think we can officially say the tank job is definitely in right now. Like I said, hey, I love it. It is what it is, and like I said, a lot of all these young guys are going to get extended looks. So, look, I mean, I actually kind of dig it, man. I know the last episode we were kind of talking about how we wanted to kind of see them stay a little competitive, man. I think we both thought they could win a couple more games, but I guess I do get it, giving all these young guys an extended look. So, AB, who impressed you the most tonight, man, and who didn't?
Yeah, no, your boy Colby Jones, man, 24, 4, 3, and 3, making the most out of his opportunity. I mean, you talked about him a lot. You were raving about him, saying that this is an underrated pickup from Sacramento. And what a night he had. Again, just making the most out of his opportunity, like we mentioned, playing the young guys. And this is what we want to see. Alex Sarr with 22, 9, and 2, and 2. So consistency, that's all we like. Obviously, what we didn't like to see was JP, as much as I am CEO of the fan club, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 from 11 from field goal range and 0 of 9 from 3. So not his best night. But at the end of the day, the Wizards, we saw Marcus Smart with 14 minutes, like, the injury. It's just at the end of the day, the Wizards, it's all about this youth movement. And if you look into the bright side, you're now 1 win below Utah, so you're still trying to solidify that top 3 pick. But it was bright spots, and at least from seeing from these young guys and who can fit the timeline, that's the main focus right now.
Oh yeah, the main focus right now is giving everybody an extended look, because right now everybody is still fighting for a job. Then look, they're still evaluating right now. So, like I said, we have a big depth of young talent, but some hard decisions in the next couple of years, man. Who stays and who goes? So right now they're still evaluating. And let's start with Colby Jones. Like I said, not a lot of people knew about Colby Jones, his game. Like I said, obviously we both do this for a living now. So when we acquired him from Sacramento, man, I took a deep look into him, and I've been impressed with him. Now I knew that, like you said, AB, I've been raving about the guy, because when I looked at him, when I looked at his scouting report and his tape, man, I see 3-level score. I see a guy who's going to be very active in defense. We saw tonight. How many steals tonight? He had a couple of really nice steals in the fourth quarter, man. He had, let me pull it up. Where you at, brother? He had 3 steals. Yeah, 3 steals, man. So a couple of good steals in the second half. So Colby Jones, pay attention to this guy, man, because he is going to be a key contributor down the road. Both him and AJ Johnson, silky smooth handles, man. With his speed, he continues to attack the rim.
That dunk that he had from the alley, that was nasty.
Yo, that dunk, AB, come on, man. And then he had that one alley where the ball was behind him, and it was behind the backboard, and he had to kind of readjust it. I mean, unreal athleticism. So both AJ Johnson and Colby Jones both acquired at the deadline. Obviously, we got Colby Jones in the trade sitting on the Valanciunas to Sacktown. And like I said, keep your eye on this kid, man. Keep your eye on this young man, because I'm trying to tell you, he is going to be good. You already see 3-level scoring potential. 3. I mean, look at this the stat line tonight, man. He 24 points, 9 for 11 for the field, 4 for 4 from 3. And yeah, I get it. They're young and they're hungry, but he still played against the starting 5 of Utah Jazz. So if you're looking at it from a competitive level competition, he plays starters. So like I said, I love what I see from Colby Jones. He's a dog defensively and offensively, 3-level scoring potential. Alex Sarr, man, let's talk about Alex Sarr, AB. Again, a really good game. I mean, they're going to give him an extended look in the second half of the season, man. And yes, right now, they're officially tanking. Let's call it like it is. And like I said, we all kind of wanted them to give all these young guys the opportunity to kind of showcase what they can do. So I'm kind of over the whole tank job. Look, I'm with it. Let's get with it. So if that's the focus, I'm behind this thing. So Alex Sarr, AB, again, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 for 14 for the field, 4 for 8 from 3. You see the efficiency, you see the touch, you see the aggression, you see his ability to stretch the floor. Looking at the rookie of the year, man, has he made up any ground on Stephon Castle?
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit, I just think when it comes to availability, I'm pretty sure Castle has played more games than him. Which is that time where Sarr was dealing with injuries, but the fact that he's still bouncing back, and especially since, let's be real, the Wizards aren't making the playoffs, he knows that he's still going out there, putting effort and getting better every single game. And all started from that 34-point game against Denver. He's just been rolling 22, 9, 2, and 2. And the effort of, you're tanking, at least you're still going out there and balling out and proving why you're the starting caliber center for the future in DC.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, when you look at some of these vets, there's a lot of injuries in this team. So you can kind of look at, you can't argue the fact that right now is probably the best time to showcase his talent. Because like I said, we both, last episode kind of wanted them to kind of push for a couple more wins, just for the sake of culture. But, and like I said, this was a hot topic and in discussions. And like I said, much love for everybody, man. We definitely love our dialogue here on Locked On Wizards, man. But I kind of understand it now. Give them an extended look. That's what we all wanted. That's what we're getting. And like I said, we're going to talk about who should sit, because there's a couple of the vets, man, that probably need to sit for the rest of the year. Like I said, Marcus Smart in that finger. I mean, he needs to sit. Like I said, we're going to talk about that after the break, man. But I love what I saw tonight from Alex Sarr. He continues to impress. A guy who, after 5 summer games, everybody's ready. Not everybody, but a lot of people are trying to call him a bust. He has gotten better every single week. And with this dude being a second overall pick, I said in the beginning of the year that his offense is going to be raw, kind of like Bilal. And Bilal, you still see a lot of rawness with his offense, even though he did take a lot of steps this season. And I definitely think he's going to take a giant leap in year 3. But Sarr's gotten better offensively over the course of the season, AB. I mean, he's gotten better relatively quickly. And it just says a lot about what his true ceiling is. I think he's going to be a star in this league. I think he's going to be a true unicorn in this league with his ability to protect the rim, with his ability to stretch the floor, with his ability to put the ball on the floor, and at times bring, and I don't really want to see him bring the ball up too much, but he's a guy who could definitely, he's swift in transition. So, with him leading a fast break, I have no problem with him doing that. Some other people that impressed me tonight, I already mentioned AJ Johnson, 12.6 assists. I love his game, man. I love his speed. I love his aggression. I love his athleticism. Jordan Poole, we already mentioned it. Not his best night. Bad night. I mean, 5 assists, so he found ways to get other people involved. But from a scoring standpoint, 1 for 11 for the field, 0 for 9 for 3. Very forgettable game from JP13, man. So hopefully, I definitely expect him to step it back up, man, but not his best showing. Jalen Martin, AB, let's talk about him real quick. Jalen Martin, he's another guy that I really like. 11 points, 7 rebounds. What part of his game do you like?
Just, again, I think his ability as a guard. Right now, the Wizards, we have Bob Carrington, we have these young guys here, but the fact that you got Colby Jones, you got Martin, just his offensive game, I like the way he's very smooth in a way where it's not like he's forcing anything, and especially in a situation where you're tanking, you're still making the best of your ability. It can be so easy for the Wizards, especially these young guys, to just let loose and get blown out. At one point, there was a close game throughout the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, the Jazz they were playing their starters. So at the end of the day, Martin and Jones, I really like how they're just competing and they're taking advantage of their opportunities.
No, I agree 100%, AB. I agree 100%. We didn't talk about Vucevic. Vucevic tonight. Come on,
God, man.
I know, man. I mean, we talked about Sarr. We talked about Colby Jones. Vucevic, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. He is the future center, or the future backup center for the Washington Wizards. To me, Alex Sarr, yes, it's kind of 50-50 whether Sarr is a power forward or is he a center. To me, he can play either one, but right now it appears he's going to be the starting center. And to me, Vucevic is the backup of the future. Pencil him in, because while I do think that he doesn't stop you from adding another 7-footer potentially in his draft coming up or in 2026, he plays when given minutes, man. He's productive when he gets playing time. And like I said, with his ability to stretch floor, 7-footer, rim protector, the list goes on. We are building this team into the modern day sample of what an NBA team is supposed to be built on, man, which is versatility, which is 3-point shooting, which is defense. You see the defense on this team. You see the versatility. I mean, Vucevic, man, the fact that you have 2 7-footers who can stretch the floor, who both are athletic enough to get, become lob threats and get in, very active in transition, tells you that we're heading in the right direction, AB. I mean, Vucevic, like I said, he was another guy where I said, watch him. He can play. And when given minutes, again, he produces. And tonight, 17 points, 1 for 4 for 3, 8 for 11 from the field overall, and 2 blocks. So efficiency was the name of the game tonight. And what's that tell you? This team was very, very young tonight. I mean, your only vet tonight was Marcus Smart, and like I said, 13 minutes. The fingers bothering him. Like I said, we're about to talk about that. Jordan Poole. But that was it. Anthony Gill, 10 points with him. But this team was major, very, very young tonight. And a lot of efficiency shooting the ball. I mean, 7-14 from Sarr, 8 for 11 from Vucevic, 5 for 10 from AJ Johnson. Jalen Martin, 4 for 11. But like I said, you kind of see the trend. All right. So, like I said, AB, very impressive night, even though we did lose the battle of the bottom dwellers. But we knew what it is. Right now, they're giving everybody an extended look. And look, I'm all for it. So let's get it. So, all right, AB, we're going to get into who should sit and who shouldn't in the second half of the season, because the youth movement and evaluation time has officially started. You can call it a tank job, but has officially started in the 202. But who should actually sit for the rest of the year? We're going to best answer that question. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Prizepicks. Basketball season is heating up, and there's no better way to get in on action than with Prizepicks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. Because with Prizepicks, you just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections for a shot to win up let me get it out, 1,000 times your cash, right? It's easy to use, available in over 30 states, and lets you mix and match projections across different sports. Because, look, guys, I say all the time, man, Prizepicks is easy money. It's the easiest way to make money as far as daily fantasy sports. You got the rest of the NBA season. You got the NCAA tournament. You got the rest of the NHL season, man. And you got my favorite sport, baseball season coming up. So a lot of good reasons to get in on action, building lineups, quick and easy. Again, Prizepicks makes it simple, so you can set your lineup in less than 60 seconds. Fast payouts. You get it right away in as little as 15 minutes, man, at the longest, man. And Taco Tuesday deals. Every Tuesday, Prizepicks discounts select player projections up to 25%, giving even more value to your lineup. So, look, don't take my word for it, all right? Download the app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by Hungryroot. When it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've had this ongoing problem. I just don't have the time. Between work, life, and trying to eat healthier, I was constantly feeling stressed out. I'd go to the grocery store, buy things I didn't need, and then end up with no time to actually cook this stuff, right? And sticking to my health goals, out the window. That was a struggle too. But everything changed when I discovered Hungryroot. Honestly, it's been a game changer. It's the easiest way to eat healthy without all the stress. With Hungryroot, it's like having a personal shopper and a nutritionist all in one. They take care of my grocery shopping, recommending meals and groceries based on my taste and health goals, from anti-inflammatory to high protein and gluten-free options. And the best part, every meal is ready in 15 minutes or less. I'm talking quick, healthy meals that actually taste great, all delivered right to your front door. It's been a huge time saver and has made healthy eating so much simpler. If you like me, you're on the go, you work, you got kids, you don't always have the time to really sit down and fix a big meal. Look, I definitely recommend Hungryroot, y'all. If you live a very busy lifestyle, definitely consider Hungryroot, man. You're gonna love Hungryroot as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box and a free item in every box for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA and use promo code LockedOnNBA. That's hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA to get 40% off your first box and free item of your choice for life. Life, baby. Hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Code LockedOnNBA. Don't miss out, y'all. All right, AB, let's get back into this thing, man. So, Marcus Smart, that finger's bothering him, man. So I'm in favor of sitting him. Do you agree, disagree? And what other players do you think that the Wizards can probably sit for the rest of the year to get healthy, or to kind of give some other players a more extended look?
You said it a nail on the head with Marcus Smart. I just think at this point it's not worth risking injury. Again, he's been making an impact ever since he's gotten here in DC. I also think JP, as much as I'd love to see him out there go out and play, it just might not be worth it because, again, you don't want to risk injury going into next season. So I like what we did, play the young guys. And honestly, just seeing Sarr and Vooch, that's like the main 2 guys I love seeing out there going balling out. And what am them being the leading scorers? But I think going back to Kobe Jones, Martin, Thor, Anthony Gilman getting some playing time. Even Champagny, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play at all. He didn't play tonight, and Holmes as well. So I think let the vets rest and just let's see what you got in these young guys to see who wants to be on this roster come next season.
Yeah, I agree, AB. Marcus Smart, go ahead and sit him. I mean, there's no reason we're not playing. We're playing for the number 1 overall pick. At most, the top 3 pick. Don't make it worse. Sit him. I mean, he obviously that finger's bothering him, so definitely sit him. Who do they sit? I mean, you could probably get away with Chris Middleton, get him 100%. I think you need to go ahead and, like I said, it's probably a far cry from last episode. But like I said, I kind of understand it now, man. Like, at first I was kind of like, all right, let's try to push and get a couple more wins, really build that chemistry and build that culture. But then, if you look at the fact overall, man, his team is just so banged up. Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton has been dealing with the ankle injury. Jordan Poole's dealing with the elbow. We'll see how severe that is. Not his best shooting night. And I don't think it's his shooting elbow that is injured. So, but I have to actually dig deeper in that and do some research, man. But I mean, get these guys a extended look. Why not? I mean, because even though I stand firm that we can lose the rest of these games, man, and still only have a 14% chance. Look, it is what it is. I'm excited watching Colby Jones and AJ Johnson, to be honest with you. I mean, I like seeing these guys where they're fighting for a spot, whether it's here in DC, because, Chris Miller brought this up in the broadcast where these guys, especially these guys on the towards the end of the bench, they're not just playing for, their spot here in DC. They're playing just for their opportunity in basketball, period. Other teams are scouting and looking at them, man. So this is a very important time for these young guys. So, yeah, with all the injuries, did I want them to fight a little more towards the end? Yeah, but there's so many injuries. Sit Marcus Smart, you can probably get away with sitting Chris Middleton. And if the elbow issue with Jordan Poole is still egging him, man, I really did, messing with him, look, sit him. So like I said, I like to extend look with these young guys, and if there's injuries, there's no reason pushing these guys. So, but if in fact they still have some energy left to play, they put them in there. That's where I'm at. Evaluate them case by case. But like I said, Colby Jones, man, these young guys, Colby Jones, I try to tell people, look out for Colby Jones because he's going to be a key contributor down the line. AJ Johnson, we have a great depth of young talent here. So, AB, real quick, man. Outside of Colby Jones, what other players would you want to get an extended look in the second half, man?
Yeah, no, I guess Martin. That was a guy that outside of Jones was someone that I'm also interested in looking at. I still go back to my boy Vooch. I genuinely think he could definitely solidify that backup position. Maybe even at one point, if he's consistently getting those 17, 18 points a game with double digits and rebounds and assists, who knows? At one point, maybe you put him in the starting lineup. But again, it just all goes back to seeing those guys play. And AJ Johnson, I mean, his athleticism, legit unreal. Again, Will Dawkins finessed another first-round pick for it. It's just with all these guys and these young guys, it's just great to see. Bub Carrington, that mid-range shot is just so silky and smooth. I don't think he's ever missed a mid-range shot, at least when I'm watching B. So for me, it's still Vooch, as much as I want to say Jones and Martin, just because I legit think we have something in Vucevic, especially since he's a second-round pick too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, you can look at most of the guys, young guys in this roster and say, it's time to evaluate. Colby Jones, man, AJ Johnson, both of them, very under the radar moves at the deadline. Obviously the meat and potatoes of the deadline were the draft picks, Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, but these were a couple young prospects that I'm very high on. AJ Johnson, man, looking at the fact that he's a rookie, that's 4 first-round picks in his previous draft. And all 4 look like they're going to be key contributors down the road for the Washington Wizards. And really, all of them are showing glimpses now. Colby Jones, talent, I'm trying to tell you, man. And like I said, Jalen Martin, another guy that I really – JT Thor is a guy that I liked in his prospective draft, man. So let me ask you real quick. What do you think about his game, man? I mean, what are kind of the pros and cons in JT?
I saw in the stat sheet 3 steals. I mean, that's as a forward, that's amazing. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. So, again, given minutes, seeing that type of production defensively is what we definitely need here in Washington. As much as we love to see, putting up a lot of points in today's NBA, the D in DC really hasn't been a theme these past couple of years. So seeing a guy put up, I saw 2 to 3 steals by some of the players with JT and Colby Jones. It just goes to show that even though they're playing offensive basketball, they're still putting some effort in defensively. And that's what we need here desperately for the future, especially if you want to win titles.
Absolutely. I agree 100%, my brother. So, all right, we're going to get into the comments like we always do. We got some good ones and a few bad ones, but it's all good. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. All right, AB, let's get in the comments, man. And like I said, I definitely appreciate everybody taking time out of their night to rock with us tonight. So let's go ahead and Lock the Law got on here early, so we're gonna get with his latest one. Let's see. Poole needs to be on the bench. What in the heck is he doing? Not his best night. Not his best night tonight. But I'm not quite ready to bench him unless the elbow's bothering him, man. You've seen, he had some really good games since coming back from injury, but then a few times where you can definitely kind of see he's kind of working through something. So, AB, are you kind of like me, man, where if he's dealing with a nagging injury, sit him, but if not, give him playing time?
Yeah, no, to me, I just don't think it's worth risking at all. I get it. JP definitely wants to go out there and hoop, but at the end of the day, don't risk injury going into next season, and you're not really contending. You're already eliminated from the playoffs. So I just, even if he's not 100%, I just say no, just rest him.
Yep, I'm with you on that, brother. Lob to Koulibaly, like it. Good tank game. Rookies balling out. Absolutely, I agree 100%. He also says Kobe Jones might be one of them diamonds in the rough. Another find by Dawkins. Absolutely. AJ Johnson's flashes were fun as well. And we get hold of the worst record too. It was a win-win, bang night for all, man. Like I said, you got a glimpse of what some of these young guys can provide for the future. And look, we're still in the hunt for the worst team in the NBA. So it is a win-win tonight. Let's see. Jack Phillips, how you doing tonight, man? Bad loss, but helps our draft odds, so can't be mad. Also, Kobe Jones is absolutely a bright spot. Crazy how our front office is finding talent these days. What does that tell you, AB? There are adults in the building. We are not only hitting on draft picks in the lottery, not only are we making trades acquire, get back into the lottery, not only are we finding guys in later stages of the first round, we're catching young prospects, man, that were undervalued and kind of slept on. Kobe Jones, AJ Johnson. Come on now. It just shows you that General Manager Will Dawkins, President of Basketball Operations Michael Winger, man, Travis Schlenk, and I always forget his title. And Travis Schlenk, all love, brother. But all three of those guys, man, you can Troy Weaver, you throw him in the deal, even though a lot of people get kind of low on Troy Weaver. But this front office, they know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. Nomadic Brian says Kobe Jones leads the way. Wait, who? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people did not know Kobe Jones, man. I encourage you guys, man. Take some time when you got the time. Look at some of his tape, man, especially with the G League, with the Stockton Kings. He could play. He's a 3-level scorer who can defend. I'm trying to tell you, he, in my eyes, could be a key contributor, be a depth piece, just like Justin Shimpney. Look, Justin Shimpney was a 2-way player. He's a G League player. Look at him now. So was Jordan Goodwin. So, the list goes on. We get these guys ready to play at the highest level. So, he's a guy who's been lighting up for the go-go and he's as a 2-way contract. So, let's see. A Wright Production says, love how aggressive Sarr has been, driving to the hole and playing with confidence. I feel like Chief Keef is loving what he's showing. Absolutely, man. Sarr is starting. Look, he's giving you a glimpse of what to expect. He's going to be a star in this league, man. Once he figures it out on a consistent basis, he is going to be an all-star in this league. Let's see, guys. Lob the Koulibaly says, understands the lottery, but securing the top 5 pick is important in a draft like this. So it makes sense why Washington finds the worst record necessary. What do you think, AB? You agree with that?
Yeah, no, I guess it does make sense, but at the end of the day, like if top 3 share 14% chance, so I think I kind of want to get out of the delusion if it's Cooper Flag or bust, because that shouldn't be the scenario. You got to have a plan B. And then for the Wizards, obviously, we've seen in the past with I think Detroit, where not too long ago they were the worst team in the NBA, and they didn't even get. I think they were they're 5. So it doesn't automatically mean that. And is that going to change the future? I don't know. But as of right now, it's just see what these young guys have, and it's going to accumulate to losses. But don't expect the number 1 overall pick just like that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It should not be Cooper Flag a bust. Plan accordingly. There's so much talent in this draft, man. Don't make it to where, that's the one guy we have to go out and get, man. Ace Bailey can come in here and ball out. Dylan Harper can come in here and ball out. VJ Edgecombe. The list goes on, man. This is a good environment for any young prospect to come in and flourish, man. So I'm with you on that. DZ Yanni, man, he says, B, what I'm talking about with when Jordan Poole ain't making shots, he soaks and plays lazy. Yeah, not his best night, man. Do you kind of get a glimpse of that, AB? What do you think?
I don't know. So with me, like, I don't know about lazy because I think defensively he's still there, but I think offensively sometimes when he's already having off night and he's still shooting those threes from deep, like on transition when there's like a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2, it is kind of frustrating. But at the end of the day, I think JP has proven enough, and you're gonna have some off nights, but hopefully you can learn from it. And again, maybe it's just the whole like in your head, you're thinking, oh, you're playing with all these young guys, like maybe. I don't know. This is hard because I don't want people, especially JP haters, they would probably love tonight because they were so quick to write him off last year. And now when they see a game like this, they just want to write him off again. But it's just an outlier of a game, and I think he'll bounce back from it if he continues to play throughout the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I see the effort, man. I mean, not his best shooting night, but there's ways he has improved. Efficiency, shot selection, there's, especially this year, in the early part of the year, me and you both talked about those in transition shots, stuff like that. He's really stemmed down on that a lot, man. So he's getting better. Don't forget, he's still developing. He's still a guy who's still learning, man. So I don't think he's lazy, but and like I said, 5 assists. You saw ways where you're still getting people involved. I look at it as how bad is the elbow, because game to game, you kind of see different reactions with him as far as how bad is the elbow injury, man. So like I said, if he's ready to play, give him the minutes. If not, set him. That's kind of where I'm at. Alan, how you doing? It says love watching SAR. The end of the season is going to be pretty tough to watch. We're going to be playing a lot of G League players. You guys are doing a great job, by the way. Love the channel. Hey, Alan, appreciate you, man. Alan, appreciate you taking the time just to hear us talk, man. So like I said, much love. Appreciate you. No Breaks New, my guy, man. My God, No Breaks New. He says Sergeant looking like a general. Where did Kobe come from? Corey days may be numbered. We have young athletic shooting wings. Oh yeah. For cheap. Vuk and Sar look good together. Flag or Harper. I agree on all points, man. Corey, man, I think Corey, they're going to take the Denny route. They're going to try to move him in the offseason because we have a lot of wings. We got some shooters on this team. Vuk and Sar, they are the history center, in my opinion. The starting and backup center. Flag or Harper, Flag, I'll be real, man. I think Flag is a generational talent. I'm not going to take that away from man, but certain things do kind of come up as red flags with me. Some people, there's rumors out there saying his camp don't want to come to Washington or Charlotte. To me, I'm a firm believer that you should just feel blessed enough to be in the league. When you start picking and choosing, trying to be Eli Manning, I have a problem with that. It's not been confirmed, but there's been whispers here and there. His mom's kind of come on in social media to get after people. Like I said, it kind of mirrors some other players used to play in DC, man. So nothing serious that would keep me from drafting them. But the pressure, the age, there's certain things that do come as a red flag. And like I said, if you're number one, that's probably your guy. But I wouldn't sell Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey Sharp, man, because both of them can definitely come into DC, and especially Ace Bailey. We need a go-to scorer, man. We need a guy who's definitely going to take a lot of pressure off of JP when it comes to scoring. So, and No Breaks New also says, AB, what's up, B? What's up, AB? Ain't mean to be rude, my brothers. Oh, it's always love, my brother. Can y'all touch on Maryland and any home team's chance in the tourney? We're not gonna do that tonight, but I got you next time, man. We actually have a special guest, Joshua Valdez, on the show tomorrow, man. So we're gonna actually talk about the tournament a little bit and what teams look out for and the prospects associated with those teams. So appreciate you. Danielle Frazier says, let your co-host talk at least once. Why he here? We know this your baby, but daggone. AB, am I talking too much, man? What's up?
No, I'm still like the Robin here, man. You gotta let Batman do the main talking because he knows what he's talking about. I'm still learning the ropes. Give me some time, I'm still trying to get used to it. I think the Wizards just like a night like this where it's like you see the young guys play. Obviously, it's a loss, but at the end of the day, it's just optimism and hopefully in the future when the Wizards actually like start like improving and more people will come, then people will realize that maybe he isn't talk that much.
AB, you all good, man. I mean, you're doing an immaculate job, man. It's been, like I said, I look forward to many years of covering our beloved Wiz kids together, man. So you're doing an immaculate job. You'll notice, man, some people, if their only comment is to complain and they're not really getting into anything that has to do with basketball, most of the time they're just trolling or they have really nothing else better to do. So on to the next. Justin Santos says they don't play pool because he'd be winning them games they're supposed to lose. I don't know, man. I think that for some reason, like I said, this is definitely a question that if I catch up with Jordan Poole after the game or at the practice facility, I'm gonna ask, man, because I think that the elbow, and ironically enough, man, the elbow injury started when we had the interview. So, like I said, but I think it's the elbow issue. You see a lot of wear and tear with a lot of these, Jordan Poole with the elbow, Marcus Smart with the finger. I don't think he has any business, man, playing. In my opinion, Chris Middleton with the ankle. Everybody, over the course of 82 games, there's gonna be a lot of wear and tear. So what's the point at this point? Like I said, I wanted them to push, but I think the push is all gone. I think right now the focus is on developing and seeing what you have in a lot of these young talent. Because AB, they have an overabundance of talent, man. That is a good problem. Really years past, it's been the opposite end of the spectrum. Not enough young talent. Now we have too much. So I'll take that problem any day of the week. Eco Play says if Kobe Jones continues playing the way he did tonight, he's going to get the Justin Shimpney treatment. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. He echoes the next guy up as far as, the next go-go guy to get an NBA standard contract. It was Jordan Goodwin. It was Jared Butler. It was Justin Shimpney. Now, I think that he's definitely next up because kind of nearing my boy DC Onion says, Kobe Jones. I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
I think his career high before tonight was 10B, so 24. I mean, just like that. I mean, just goes to show this is going to be more of Kobe Jones in the future.
Look, man, Kobe Jones, his game is smooth like silk. 3-level score. I love what I see from him, man. AJ, couple of under the radar moves that to me were a couple of the better moves of the deadline. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But like I said, AJ Johnson and Kobe Jones, they're going to be part of the future. Big J52, how you doing, brother? Says I think the future leader of the team is AJ. You know what? AJ Johnson, let me tell you something, man. He is going to be a key contributor on that second unit, and he's shown that he can definitely start. And that's what I'm saying. We have a good problem here, man, where we have an overabundance of young talent. AJ Johnson's another one, man. I'm with you on that. Eco Plays, do you think we'll play our starters against the Magic on Friday? I'll be down there, man. So I expect that it's probably gonna be like tonight, man. It's gonna be a lineup of young guys. I think you're gonna sit Marcus Smart. Just prepare yourself for that announcement. I'm just being honest. I know we played bench players against 2 lower seeded teams, but the Magic are decent. Yeah, I think at this point it's gonna be youth movement, man. That's kind of where I'm at. Eco Play said, BScott, my guy, keep up the hard work, man. Hey, man, me and AB, we on it, man. We on it. I'm trying to tell you, the future's bright not only for the Wiz, but for Locked On Wiz, man. Come on. Let's see. We're going to knock out a few more. Got a fly that's like flying around the head. Go on now. Let's see. No matter Grind says, I'm cool with it. Let me show you what I can do, coach. Got to get those looks and figure out who's going for it. Oh, absolutely. Hit the nail on the head with that. DC Onion, and I'm going to ask you real quick. We kind of touched base on it before, AB. JT Thor looking stinky, greasy. I mean, look, JT Thor with his size, he almost put Walker Kessler on the poster, man. So he's got some athleticism. So JT Thor, I mean, he's got the size. When you talk about, Vucevic being the future at center, do you see JT Thor maybe being a permanent answer at power forward on the second unit? Or
I definitely want to see these next couple of games because, again, the season's about to come to an end. So see what he can do this playing time. His athleticism, his size, very sneaky. I mean, him and AJ Johnson, again, like the ability to potentially put so many dudes on posters is what I'm looking forward to see. And if he can somehow battle Vooch, I mean, that'd be awesome to see. Again, 2 young guys going out to fight for their role and a young team and trying to fit the timeline.
Yep, I'm with it on that, man. Dan T 4, he's got to take. It says, just when I say let's extend Poole, he starts jacking up shots, giving me PTSD. I'm with you, man. I'm high on Poole, man. Like I said, I look at the business, the NBA's business. And, look, everybody's tradable. But, I think to a point, you have to look at what you have, man. And when I look at Poole, I think he could be a long-term piece. I feel the same way about Sadiq Bey. I'm a big fan of his game. What he did in Detroit and Atlanta. Corey Kispert, they retain him all and well. But with Corey, out of everybody, I see Corey as that one guy who could definitely be on the move, man. Even though I think he'd be perfect for the locker room. Great guy. But like I said, the NBA's business. And every GM's going to prioritize the players he drafts, the players he signs, the players he trades for. That's what every GM does, man. Let's see. Crystal Scott, how you doing? Says, hey, y'all, I know you. What's good? Fred Fezzo says, "Hey, Crystal." Everybody saying hey to everybody. I love it. I love it. And then she says, "Great show. Appreciate you, sugar. Appreciate it." All right, so this is probably gonna be the last night. We're gonna do 2 more, man. I say that all the time. If it was up to me, we'd be on here for an hour and a half just doing comments, man. But let's see. DC Onion says, "No excuses. JP was playing like butt and throwing off the pace. He was playing at, like I said, not his best night." And I think that, man, and I appreciate your take, man. You're my homeboy. You know that, DC Onion. But I think that sometimes people are so quick to get on JP, man. I mean, he's had a good year. I mean, yeah, there's certain ways that he still needs to develop. There's certain ways, certain things he still needs to work on. I'm not taking that away, man. But he's had a good year. And, so I agree with you. Not his best night. I agree 100%. But I definitely expect him to kind of, definitely step it up, man. And like I said, if it's definitely an elbow issue, then set him. There's no point of aggravating the injury even further. Same thing with Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart. We haven't seen Rashawn Holmes. So, I mean, like at this point, AB, you're probably going to look at them sitting most of these vets if they can get away with it. I know Utah, I believe Utah just got in trouble for that, right? Sitting down. So that's a big reason why you saw a lot of their guys playing tonight, man, because they got in trouble. So, I definitely see the Wizards trying to, work their way around. Not having
so how does the rule work? Because I was looking confused about it when it came to playing certain players.
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen this as an issue. I know there's been an issue with star players sitting out, and you have to play so many games to be eligible for awards and stuff like that. But as far as sitting down your starters, I think it's an attempt for them to stem tanking. But we don't really need to try hard. I mean, we're already there. So I don't, I think that from the league office, you got to see what it is. I mean, sit the guys. I'm not going to break down a vet who can be a key contributor down the road when we're not playing for anything. And like I said, it's probably, like I said, I made a statement in the last video where I wanted them to push the peanut and see if we can win a couple more games. But, just from this game, man, and, looking at certain things over the course of the day, there's a lot of injuries. And so, like, when, I look in the comments and looking at some other takes, a few people did sway me, to be honest with you. I kind of see it now where, I've been an advocate that these young guys need to get an extended look anyways. But I think the time's now. Just give them an extended look. We're not playing for anything. Let's be real. In Locked On Law, appreciate you, brother. Says Utah got fined for benching Marketing when he was 100% healthy. Oh, yeah. So if they're 100% healthy, I don't think Marcus Smart is healthy. So, like I said, if they're healthy, go for it. If they're not, there's no point of breaking them down further, man. And Marcus Smart, the finger, you can tell he was touching on the finger all night, man. He's not healthy. Sit him down. I mean, so that's where I'm at. We're going to end with this. Armand says this game was a toilet bowl straight up. It was definitely the battle of the bottom dwellers, man. So, all right, everybody, we're going to call it a night. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about the NBA, the NCAA tournament, the draft a little bit, and who stays, who goes with special guest Joshua Valdez, man, my guy. So he's going to come on the show. So definitely looking forward to that. And Friday, I will be at Capital One covering the Washington Wizards versus Orlando Magic game. So with that, there's a concert after the game, so it's going to be very impossible to do any kind of live recap. So I'll be in the press conference, so we won't be going live tomorrow night. And they play in Madison Square Garden on Saturday. So I'm going to put the announcement up on X and on here on YouTube, but we're probably going to recap both Friday nights and Saturday night's game on Sunday. So like I said, that's what it is, because I will be on the road on Saturday. That's the reason I'll be heading to North Carolina. So I will be back. So we're going to go ahead and cover both games on Sunday night. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Before we roll, AB, anything else you want to cover, man, before we call it a night?
The Wizards, they might have lost today, but they won the Tank Bowl. And as of right now, we're still hoping for that #1 pick, top 3 for sure. And let's just keep it rolling, man. Just count down those days till Cooper Flag's a Wizard.
Yes, sir. I'm with it, man. Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, Ace Belly. But one of them are going to wear a Wizards uniform. You best believe it, man. So, all right, guys, we're going to call it a night. But on the way out, we're going to add, is going to talk to you about bracket breakdown promo. So, hail to the Wizards and peace.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.